Thought Bubble Audio.
Look, up in the sky!
You will never find the more wretched hive of scum and villainy.
Welcome to Beer with Geeks with Tim and Frank.
Who are you?
I'm Batman.
I am Iron Man.
Your friendly neighborhood Spider-Man.
Hi, Christopher. I'm Nero.
My name is Inigo Montoya.
You're a wizard, Harry.
A couple of guys with a couple of beers and a whole lot of pop culture nostalgia.
Make it so, number one.
Ladies and gentlemen, the Beatles.
Name the dog, Indiana.
Life finds a way.
I am serious. And don't call me Shirley.
Now sit back and crack open a cold one, because it's time for Beer with Geeks.
It comes in paints?
Shaken, not stirred.
Great Scott!
I was way off. I knew it started with an S, though.
Hi, and welcome to Beer with Geeks, where two geeks geek out with beer. I'm Tim, and with me is my Rebel Alliance Empire fighting friend, Frank.
I rebel.
You do?
Yes.
You rebel with a very unsounding Star Wars name.
With a vengeance.
Rebel with a vengeance.
Yes. It's actually a knockoff of a Die Hard movie. Yeah. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Oh, good. I'm good. I'm drinking beer.
Good. May the Fourth be with you.
Oh, thank you. And with you.
Oh, thank
Yes.
you.
And with your Force Ghost.
And with my Force Ghost.
Yes.
Thank you. I like that.
Yeah.
All right. We're drinking the same thing, but I'm drinking it in a glass and you're drinking it in a bottle, so you can get to explain.
You're more
it.
civilized than I am. This is Harpoon's new...
But I'm also more twisted and evil.
You are. This is Harpoon's newest seasonal beer. It's new for this summer. It's Camp Wannamango. It's a crisp, tropical, refreshing pale ale with mango. And you just had your first couple sips. What do you think?
I like it.
Yeah?
I like it. It's actually a lot less fruity than I thought it was going to be.
It sounds like it's going to be a lot more fruity, but you get a lot more of like the pale ale, taste, sort of the malt and the hops, but a little bit of mango sweetness.
Yeah, I like it quite a bit.
Yeah, it's good a lot. It's good a lot. I was going to say it's good, and then say I like it a lot, and then it became
I like it a lot.
It's good a lot. It often is very good. It's good a lot.
Do you know what I feel like is a missed opportunity that we didn't think of until right now because, God forbid, we plan ahead?
Please.
We should have, for today,
Yeah.
had Rebel IPA.
This is true. However, reasons. If the whole premise of this show is that we just sit down and switch on microphones and have our normal conversations we would have anyway, then
that's exactly what we did because we
did not think about it at all.
We did not plan that ahead. No,
we have sometimes, right, where we've been like, oh, like usually one of us, usually you, sees something in the store and you're like, oh, that's good for what we're talking about, so I'm going to get this.
That's true. That's because normally I'm running into the store, sometimes with you, to pick up alcohol
minutes before
we record.
Yeah.
Instead of just having it in my fridge like beer. A normal civilized human being.
That's okay.
Right. So Star Wars Day has come and gone.
Yeah.
Wow. But this
depending on your time zone.
It could. Yeah.
Could.
I don't know what time zone you're in. But so we haven't talked about this yet. I don't even really think we've talked about it off air. Is Star Wars Rogue One?
Yeah,
Star
that's true.
Wars story.
We didn't really talk about it off air. We texted about it a little bit the day the trailer came out, but that's about it.
And that's about it.
Yeah.
So, we watched it right now.
Yeah, the trailer. Yeah.
And I could sense your excitement building off of you.
Hype. I am hype.
You are hype. I have said repeatedly,
yes,
I don't give a damn about anything in Star Wars that's not a Jedi. That trailer proved me wrong.
Yeah.
I love all the things in Star Wars.
Period. Just all the... Yeah, I mean, because we talked about this a while back, that, your... And a few times, really, your attraction is more in the wizard connection, right?
Space wizards,
right?
Yeah,
and I like the sci-fi aspect of things more, and we kind of meet in the middle there. But this is more of a war movie / heist movie.
It's like Ocean's 11.
Yeah, sort of. It's got some Ocean's 11, but it's also right.
Jin's 4.
Yeah, whatever it is. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. How many cards do you have in Jin?
Yeah. Rummy. I don't know.
Yeah.
Rogue 1. But
Jin's 1.
Jin's Rogue.
Yeah. Anyway.
But it's true. This is neither of those things really, and yet I'm super excited. I'll be honest, the first time I watched it, and only the first, I was like, okay, this kind of feels like not Star Wars in a way, like the pacing of it and stuff a little bit. Okay, I should say it feels like a trailer for not a Star Wars movie. It feels like a trailer for, like you said, like a heist movie, like an Ocean's or something.
Yeah. But
the more I watch it, the more I'm like, but how can I mean, it's on the Death Star, and there's X-Wings, and there's, so, as articulate as I can be.
Oh, well, this could be a great show.
Yeah.
Yeah. What do you think? Yeah. Wannamango. Yeah.
Exactly.
Oh, good. Excellent. Yeah. Let's talk about the beginning of the trailer, state your name for the record.
Right.
Jin Ursa. I like that they're just, here's her name. You enjoy it.
Yeah.
You think about it for a while. This is not a plot point.
Right.
It's just her name. So just let it go.
Mm-hmm.
This is a very diverse Star Wars movie. Have you noticed that?
Yes.
Yep. You have a female lead.
Mm-hmm. For the second Star Wars movie in a row.
Yeah. Pretty awesome. A female lead, black bounty hunter, Asian badass.
Diego Luna, you've got
Diego Luna. Oh yeah, I knew there was another one. Tall white lady.
Yes, that's true.
Mon Mothma.
Yeah.
A British dude.
Yes, Ben Mendelsohn.
Actually, Australia's own Ben Mendelsohn.
That is true, Australian.
Yeah. Who I'm sure they'll pretend is British for the purposes of this movie.
Yeah. And I'm sure there'll be many other British white dudes, because that's what the Empire's made of.
Because it's all British white dudes.
But we're going back to the Empire. We're going back in time to pre A New Hope.
That's
era.
right.
Just pre,
almost exactly.
minutes before A New Hope.
Yes, the whole movie takes place 15 minutes before A New Hope.
And honestly, for all we know, it might bleed into like the time of A New Hope.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
somebody had said this, and I can't remember where I heard this. It might have been Fat Man on Batman.
Okay.
But they assuming the movie. I kind of always assumed that the movie would end. We're talking I don't know where it ends, but the movie would end with passing off the plans to Princess Leia.
Sure.
But the movie could bleed into A New Hope.
A little bit, yeah, it could.
It shows her in that black outfit at the end of the trailer.
Yeah.
And a Jin at the end of the trailer. And she looks like she's in a TIE fighter getup.
Yes,
like
she does.
a TIE...
the TIE fighter.
She's not in a box that's shaped like a TIE fighter, like you see at Comic-Con.
The TIE fighter pilot uniform.
I'm Jin Ursa.
She's cosplaying as a TIE fighter.
No one will notice. Can't see a thing in those helmets. Nobody will notice.
No.
Yeah.
Exactly.
But it could definitely go into her at the battle for the Death Star pretending to be.
Could be.
Pretending, because then it would really. There's a book.
Yeah.
That came out a number of years ago. It's simply titled Death Star,
yes.
I believe.
I think I know what you're talking about.
And it's one of the few expanded universe Star Wars, now Legends.
Yes,
expanded Star Wars books that I've read. And by few, I mean I've read a good chunk by some standards, but
in the grand scheme, there's hundreds,
dozens.
Yeah,
are there hundreds?
There
might be.
There's probably more than 100.
I would not doubt that.
Yeah.
So there's so many, and I've read maybe a dozen. Maybe. And that's one of them, and it has to do with building the Death Star.
Yep.
And the book goes into A New Hope, and so the end of the book is the end of A New Hope. But now there are people on the Death Star that are trying to get off of it because they know the rebels are attacking.
Yeah.
And they're probably going to blow up. It's a really good book. I do recommend. Maybe there's some correlation. There's some not maybe necessarily inspiration, but there's some there's some overlap in this film the same way.
Yeah, very possible.
I'm looking forward to all of it.
Yeah.
And see, I didn't think I would care about anything that's not Jedi, though. There are things in this film that apparently the things that that butt out my idea of awesome. Look, a dude with a cape. He looks amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
Grand Admiral somebody.
Yes.
Yeah.
Right. So you're saying that's the kind of stuff that's just you're a sucker for that no matter what.
A sucker for a guy in a uniform with a cape, apparently.
Yeah.
Because he looks amazing.
He looks awesome. He looks badass.
Yeah.
He looks super badass.
He looks like a guy that's not afraid to get down and dirty.
Yeah,
like on
exactly.
the planet, dead stormtroopers everywhere, and he's just like, yeah, I'm here. Whatever.
That's the kind of thing, yeah. Like, I've never been, like, the guy who, like, roots for the villains exactly. You know that's what I'm talking about?
Yeah, I'm always been a villain guy. I've always enjoyed the villains.
I enjoy the villains, but I'm never, like, the guy who's like, yeah, this is not, like, I'm not watching for the villains, usually, right?
Yeah, generally not, no.
There are people who do that. There are people who enjoy, like, they like Empire because of Darth Vader.
Oh, that's why I like
what I mean?
Empire, yeah.
Okay.
Okay. When I was a kid, particularly, like, that's why I like Jedi when the Emperor was there, and, like, I just not necessarily find the dark side seductive.
Yeah.
Or, like, I want to emulate them, but I just find...
But that's what...
because it's so not me, I find it fascinating to look on the other side of the glass.
That's interesting. I was always a Luke guy.
TV glass. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
The literal glass screen.
Retweet us. Yeah.
I was always a Luke guy. I was always watching for Luke. Now, as an adult, I'm watching more for Han and Leia.
Oh, that's interesting.
Particularly with Empire, I mean. Mm-hmm. But that's interesting. Okay. But even so even as somebody who used to watch and watches, because you like Darth Vader, because you like the Emperor, do you... For me, like, I'm partially watching because of Ben Mendelsohn. Like, I'm very drawn to that.
I'm drawn to Ben Mendelsohn for whatever reason. If he's in a movie, I'm probably going to watch it.
I don't know that I could name a movie he's in right now. I don't know, and that's okay. I mean, like,
the first thing I ever saw him in was Dark Knight Rises. He played He played Daggett. Where's Bane?
That's him.
That's Ben Mendelsohn.
Whoa.
Yeah, he's a chameleon. He's amazing. Wow. He's awesome.
What?
Yeah. Yeah.
Why do I remember him looking so much older?
I paid you a lot of money.
Yeah, I know exactly.
This gives you power over me. Yeah.
Oh wow.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
That's Ben Mendelsohn. He was also in a fantastic movie that nobody saw called Slow West with Michael Fassbender.
I really thought you were going to say a Fantastic Four movie, and I was going to punch you in the face.
No. Also a movie no one saw.
Womp womp.
No, he was in a movie called Slow West, which is a Western.
Never heard of it.
With Michael Fassbender, which is awesome.
That's a
good.
Weird combination of guys for a Western, but they're great actors. So like phenomenal actors.
It's like the movie's about this kid who is like in love with this girl. They're from Ireland, and she and her dad moved to the West, and he like follows on a boat after her because he loves her. It's actually played by Corey. It's the kid who's playing Nightcrawler in X-Men coming up, Corey McPherson or something like that. But he runs into Michael Fassbender, who's like this bounty hunter type, and he's like, "Oh yeah, I'll help you find her because she's actually wanted for murder. Her and her pa wanted for murder, so he's going like for this thing." And Ben Mendelsohn plays this other bounty hunter with this group, and the whole movie he's wearing this giant bear coat. Like, and he just looks amazing, and he's so awesome, and he doesn't have to like do anything to be awesome.
Yeah,
and that's what I'm expecting from him in Rogue One. Like, just be awesome.
Yeah.
It's almost like when you hire Sam Jackson for something, and you're like, just be awesome.
Yeah,
and I mean, act certainly, please God, act.
Sure, but for the love of God,
but also just be awesome.
Yeah, and that's.
So when you hire Forrest Whitaker, same idea. Be an amazing actor.
And he is an amazing actor. And I didn't know he was in the movie until the trailer dropped. And I think a lot of people didn't. I think they kept that as a pretty good secret, actually.
That I knew he was in the movie.
I had not heard that at all, and I heard a lot of people being surprised he was in it.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I remember when he was cast. Maybe it was a rumor.
I think it may have been a rumor.
As fact.
I think it may have been a rumor because a lot of people were surprised to have seen him.
Yeah, I was not surprised.
Like, a lot of my Twitter was people who were like, yes, like Whitaker. I think you're right. I think it was a rumor, and they were like, yes, it's true,
because he was not in the official.
He was not
in the official photo, but neither was Ben Mendelsohn.
Correct.
And so the only people, Diego Luna and Donnie Yen
and Felicity Jones,
and other people. I haven't seen that photo in a long time. Actually, that photo did not get me psyched at all for this
not
movie.
Really.
It's like, look, it looks like Star Wars.
Yeah, it was just like, okay, here's a bunch of guys in like their X-Wing, gear. Like,
yeah,
okay.
Movie photos generally don't get me excited unless it's a superhero movie and they're in costumes.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, oh, that's the new costume redesign or blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
That's when movie stills are great. But if like, there they are in their clothes that look like they're in Star Wars. Great. Okay.
Yeah. I mean, that was I guess it depends if you're talking about set photos or publicity stills, right? That was a publicity still, and it was like, okay, whatever, just post photo of these guys. Like, that's cool.
It looks like Star Wars. Fantastic.
Talk to me when you have some footage. Like, that's kind of how I felt.
Yeah, right.
Whereas, like, when I saw set photos from Spider-Man 2 in 2004 or whatever,
right,
I was like, oh my God, he's saving Aunt May. You know, like, right. I was, you know, so like that kind of stuff gets me more excited. Yeah, but okay, so let's see who haven't we talked about yet. So let's talk about Jin's sort of arc, or what it appears to be, right? So you've got it seems like my guess is that she starts off with the rebellion. Sorry, with the Empire. I think that her in the
explain.
I think
because that's not what I got at all.
Well, I think that it has to do with her joining the rebellion, right?
Right, but I don't think she's with the Empire until that moment.
I don't know if she's
because she says, "Sorry, I'm going to interrupt you."
Go ahead, please.
Because she says, you know, like it's a rebellion, right? I rebel. So to me, that's like she's like not working with the rebellion, but she is actively working against the Empire, in some way.
But I think she was talking. It seems like she's talking to Mon Mothra.
Yeah,
Mothra is the giant beast that Godzilla fights. Mothma. I keep saying Mothra, and then people keep correcting me.
I always say Mon Mothra. I think it's instilled in me.
It's like Moth-Ma, like mom,
Mothma.
mother. Yeah.
Mon Mothma.
Yeah.
That's hard to say.
Isn't it?
It's super hard to say.
Because I keep wanting to say Mothra, and I keep getting corrected or correcting myself that no, Mothra is the thing that Godzilla fights.
Mon Mothma.
Yeah.
Well, this movie is directed by Gareth Edwards, director of the latest Godzilla. So
exactly.
Mon Mothma.
Monster movies everywhere.
Mon Mothma.
I'm interested to see what her arc is, but I was really, like when I saw the actress playing Mon Mothma, I was
super excited.
I got super excited.
Genevieve O'Reilly.
Yeah. Okay. Good. Thank you for looking that up. I was super excited because like
she's the deleted scene Mon Mothma from episode 3,
which I didn't know. Because I haven't watched that deleted scene in forever. I honestly forgot she was even in
she's in one scene where she goes, "Oh, do you really think that something dark side, something Republic?"
And Jimmy Smits and Natalie Portman are like, "Whatever, we're the stars here."
Yeah.
But
I'm Jimmy Smits.
Yeah, come on. I
have the biggest head in the world, the greatest actor in the world, Jimmy Smits.
Obviously,
except that he's not. He seems like a super nice guy.
He actually does. Yes.
Yeah.
So I didn't realize that was her, but all I knew was like, "Oh my God, they found someone who looks exactly like her." And when you look side by side, okay, it's not exactly, but like but she's so with you're not looking side to side, you're like, holy crap, that's Mon Mothma.
She has the presence
100%
of Mon Mothma, and that counts way more. For somebody who looks identical.
Yes,
because it feels like her,
and she looks so much like her that when you put it together with that presence, you're just convinced.
Yes,
and it's interesting. People are pointing out that like, okay, even though she didn't really get screen time in Revenge of the Sith, enough time has passed since that came out that she's aged appropriately to like the age that she more or less should look for A New Hope. How old
do you think that she's supposed to be in Jedi?
I'm not sure about how old she is, but the point is the gap is
the gap is appropriate.
When they
10
made,
years, yeah.
It probably should be more like 20 years, but it's close enough that she's aged a few years.
Like
exactly.
Again, she's got the presence.
Exactly.
And you know what?
That's exactly what I'm saying.
Being the leader of a rebellion, it's going to age you.
Yeah.
I mean, look at a president
Yeah.
before he enters office and after he leaves.
Right.
Like,
Those pictures of Lincoln, those pictures of Obama.
Oh, yeah. Lincoln was like, my God.
He was like a baby.
Yeah.
Like baby Lincoln.
And he comes, I was going to say he came out of office.
He was like
besides that, how was the play, Mrs. Lincoln? Like,
womp, womp.
Yeah.
Still too soon.
Is it?
I'm a patriot, so yes. No.
I, sir, am an American patriot.
I'm sorry that I love my
say
country, but that's fine.
Too soon. Oh my God! Well, me and Teddy Roosevelt are just going to get up on our moose and run away. Okay, that's how American I am.
Rough Riders.
So on Mies.
Okay. So that's good. You get this very satisfied look when you say something funny. You're like,
I know.
I did that.
Yeah. Well, 99% of jokes are fails. So
that is true.
When one lands and you see it's going to land, there's a great self-satisfaction.
99%, especially on this podcast.
Oh yeah, this show could be called The 99%, and it's really just about the jokes that fail.
Yeah.
how poor those jokes are.
There's a lot. There's
a
a
lot
joke
of-
graveyard.
Yes. It's like, you must never go there, Simba. That's the joke graveyard.
And it's just like, for our 200th episode, we just do all the worst jokes.
Our worst jokes. Pull them out of the pocket. Here we go. Speaking of James Earl Jones, though, heavily rumored that Darth Vader plays a big part into this movie. What do you think about that?
I can't comment on how likely I think it is because who knows. I would be excited if he did. I hope he doesn't play too big a part. I hope he's not the main big bad in this because
I don't think so. I think Ben Mendelsohn is your main big bad.
Yeah, I do hope so.
But I could see Darth Vader being called in for a third act,
a cameo I'd be okay with. If he's the entire third act.
Well, Darth Vader has to get the plans from Princess Leia, has to know Princess Leia has the plans to then chase her.
Correct.
Right? So
Correct.
Logically, somewhere in this movie, Darth Vader has to appear, even as a presence. Lord Vader.
Yes,
the stolen plans are aboard the princess's ship.
Yes, that I would be totally cool with that. I would get so excited. I'd be applauding in the theater my first viewing, like everybody else. If we got a cameo of him, with Grand Admiral whoever telling Lord Vader that we've located the plans. They're aboard this consular ship.
But where is the ambassador?
Exactly. So that would get me really excited. I would love that. But too much more than that, more than a couple of scenes, and I might just sort of be like,
give me something new. I don't want to repeat all the time.
Exactly. Save that for if you're going to do a Force Ghost of him or something. Save that if you're gonna. But I don't need to. I don't need to see. Yeah,
that's his entrance music.
Yep.
Yeah,
that is true.
You nailed it. Just like the orchestra.
I was taken back to 1977.
I thought you were before you were born.
I was like, whoa,
wow! I went back in time with that.
Where did this London Symphony Orchestra come from in my kitchen?
Why do you all have glasses that are tinted? This is so weird. You're in a dark theater. Why would you want glasses that are pre-tinted?
Doesn't make sense, guys.
No,
I don't think you understand how theaters work. Oh, they're 3D glasses.
No,
bad idea.
Matt Mikkelsen, who is also in this movie.
Oh yes, Matt Mikkelsen, yes.
He released what his character is. I don't think he was supposed to.
Yeah, I don't think he was either.
No, I'm pretty sure he wasn't.
I'm pretty sure he wasn't because there wasn't any sort of official acknowledgement of it from Lucasfilm until.
Is it really that big of a deal, though, considering what it is? Can we? Okay, if you don't want to know, you know what it is, right?
I know what it is.
Yeah, okay. So, if you don't want to know, skip forward 20 seconds. And so go. Matt Mikkelsen is playing Jyn Ersa's father. He is also rumored to be the one who designed the Death Star.
Yeah.
If that's so, he designed it when he was very young because Count Dooku was like, they can never know about our plans.
Right.
So I don't think that's a big a deal of a spoiler because we kind of know what the movie's about. It's not a mystery. There's a weapons test. We must know about it.
Mm-hmm.
Put giant dish on Death Star. Look amazing.
Yes.
Now that dish, if you go back and watch episode 3, is already in place.
Is the physical dish already in place?
I think so. Yeah. So
okay.
So my theory is they kind of started to build one and went, "Oh no, this is wrong," and
it doesn't fit.
It's like when you build Lego part and you miss us, like 2 pages stick together.
Yeah.
And you get to the end and you go, "No,
I missed
why
this whole
section?" And then they have to take it all apart, and that's why it took 20 years.
That's a good theory.
Mm-hmm.
That's Tim headcanon.
Tim's
headcanon. I haven't gone back to watch that scene from the end of Revenge of the Sith. I do remember that it was. It seemed like okay. We know there's 20 years between 3 and 4,
right?
So we're closer to 4 now than we are to 3, right? And much closer to 4.
Yeah,
and
you're
so
about for 20 years away because arguably this takes place
like the same year as
days, if not weeks, before A New Hope.
Right. So if they got that far between episodes 2 and 3, where it's like, the skeleton of the thing is
what
there.
What were you doing for 19, 20 years?
Right. It took you 19 years to get the rest of the way for it to be fully operational.
Well, arguably it's probably the most expensive thing ever built in galactic history.
But still, it just seems like
it's a lot of funding.
Yeah. It seems like it should be.
They're probably stormtrooper strikes or something.
Right. But I guess that's more a dig against episode 3 because they showed it being very complete. already.
There was a skeleton of a frame to it, and they had the plans for it 5 years previously.
Mm-hmm.
So it took 5 years to get from that to the
skeleton.
The skeleton.
That part I buy. It's just that if it took you 5 years to get there, it shouldn't take you 20 years to get there.
It should take you another 20 years to
So that's what
build
it
the
begins
rest of
episode 3.
Though that thing is the size of a moon.
I understand.
How long does it take? It takes a few months, right? It takes a few months to build a skyscraper.
Yeah, but you can't compare because we're not using the same technology and stuff. You know what I mean?
Right, I understand. You're using better and sometimes worse technology. Think about those computer screens they have. Look how terrible those things are.
That's true.
They're very behind in some ways.
All I'm saying is, if it took them 5 years to get to the skeleton to be to that level of completeness, it shouldn't take them 20 years to get to totally complete.
It's absolutely.
Would you agree with me on that?
Oh yeah, of course. Okay. That's why I think their Lego pages stuck together in the directions.
That's honestly that's the best theory I've heard.
Yeah, oh no, we screwed up. Oh, we have to go backwards. Do you think if this movie is successful in some way, that we're going to get a Rogue 2, a Star Wars story, where many Bothan spies will die? Yeah.
I kind of hope not. I kind of hope that they do these anthology films sort of I hope that they have a purpose for what they're planning to do, right? I hope that it's not if we can squeeze a sequel out of it, we will. I would rather that they say, here's the Rogue One story, here's the Boba Fett story, here's the Han Solo story. I would rather they do that.
Right, but
if they want...
Okay, keep going, yeah.
If there's a purpose, if they've already sort of preconceived, here's what a second volume could
you don't
look
want, trilogies inside another, continuing saga.
Especially not cash-grabby trilogies. This did well, let's do another. I would rather, we wrote a story for a second one. We'll consider making, if there's demand for it, we'll make it. But,
don't shoehorn.
Yeah.
Because if these characters work and survive, there are definitely other missions going on in the Rebel Alliance.
Sure, of course.
That do not involve Han, Luke, and Leia.
Of course.
So Rogue 2 doesn't, this little team could also be doing things somewhere else.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah.
I guess here's what I hope they would do. George Lucas had the full story sketched out in his mind, roughly,
so
right?
He says. Yeah.
So he says. He's at different times said that he had 9 or 12 story ideas, but generally speaking,
it's the James Cameron of Star Wars,
really,
yeah.
But generally
we'll be doing
speaking,
20 Avatar movies.
Dear God,
please stop.
James, no one cares.
Yes. Congrats to you for being a creative person and wanting to build your own mythology. Yeah. Props to you. You've actually done it quite often already. Maybe you should stop. No, but you know what?
Make good Terminator movies instead. How about that? Let's do more of those.
It's such a double-edged sword, though, right? Because we're no one's creative anymore. It's all stuff that we are sitting about Star Wars, and blah, blah, blah. It's been 40 years, so on and so forth. But on the same time, we're something new. Get out of here, James Cameron.
Well,
no one cares about your blue aliens.
Yeah, I just don't like that.
Give me blue
that
mutants.
Particular something.
Yeah.
That particular something new doesn't appeal to me. That's why I'm sort of
give me blue milk.
Whatever.
Yeah.
Blue milk. More blue milk, less blue aliens.
Yeah, woo.
Yeah.
That'll be my sign outside Avatar.
Your little picket sign.
I'll be the one picketer. World's biggest movie ever.
Oh my God.
And I'm more blue milk, less blue aliens.
And Dr. Manhattan's seriously? Thanks, buddy.
And I'll be you're not an alien, sir.
Exactly.
You were a human being.
That is true.
And he's you're right. And I'll be go back in time and fix all this. Fix the world, please, Dr.
All right.
Manhattan.
I think we may be overstaying our welcome here on Star Wars Day. So let's kind of give our final thoughts on Rogue One. What's your overall takeaway?
Can we talk about one thing that we haven't talked about?
Let's talk about Rogue One more thing.
Okay, we haven't talked about that weird tube with the royal guards and the guy in the cloak.
Yes,
that's the big mystery.
I want to know about that.
Who dat? I want to know who dat is because those are the Emperor's guards. So there's reason to believe that the Emperor is somewhere closer there because why would they be there otherwise?
Right. Do you think the Emperor will make an appearance in this movie?
I kind of hope not because I think it gives too much weight.
Yeah.
It gives too much weight to this small rebel group.
Yeah.
But at the same token, unless it's not connected to exactly what they're doing, what if it builds? The rumor is that maybe Darth Plagueis is in that cryo tube.
Right.
Not
right.
Darth Plagueis, who could be, maybe it's Snoke, maybe it's whatever else. I I'm real torn. I don't really want this movie to connect to Force Awakens. I just want.
Yeah, I don't need it to. Here's my thing. I don't. And part of the reason why I don't need Darth Vader, and the same goes for the Emperor. How much weight can you, like you said, how much weight can you put in this small band of rebels? Also, how much can you throw into your first anthology movie and then not jump the shark? How many of the biggest of the big bads, the big tentpole characters that you have in this franchise, how many of them can you throw into the first sort of sidebar movie that you make and then expect the rest to hold up? Can't pull out all the stops.
No, you're absolutely right. It's not like an organ. You can't pull. You can't pull out all the stops.
No.
Yeah.
No.
I know. Well, you really shouldn't do that on an organ either.
No one really wants to hear that.
So it's just like an organ.
Exactly. You got to be tasteful with how many stops you pull out.
That's right. Mm-hmm. Good.
A little tremolo is fine.
That's right, but not trumpet.
No. Okay. Not every time. Right.
No. No.
Exactly. No one knows what we're talking about.
No, but I do because I play the organ.
It's true.
And you know because you have friends that play the organ.
That's true.
Yeah.
Yes.
Like me.
Like you.
Because I'm a cool person, and
Correct.
cool people play the organ.
Yes.
Cool people like Bach.
Right. You know what else cool people do? Say, I'm a cool person.
I'm a cool person.
They tell it to all their internet friends.
That's what my T-shirt says right now.
Oh my God, it actually does.
No,
Oh,
it doesn't.
that's
Just
sad.
kidding.
No, it
I'm wearing a tie.
Yeah.
Because I came from work. Yeah.
Yes, he did.
Yeah.
All right. I'm super excited about this movie. More than I thought I would be. I think I gave myself sort of low expectations coming in. And I saw the trailer, and at first, like I said, I was like, I'm not sure if I like this. And then the more I've watched it, I've gotten more and more excited. So I've raised my expectations for the actual movie.
That's awesome. That's great. I think that's what they wanted.
Yeah.
What is your one hope with this movie? It can be a new hope or an old hope.
My one hope with this movie, honestly, I just don't want it to suck. I just want to be happy with it. I want it to feel.
What's the one thing you want to see in this movie? I should say
one specific. Let's see the droids.
Do you want to see just droids in general?
No, the droids.
You want to see C-3PO and R2-D2?
Andor, yeah.
You want to talk about jumping the shark?
Again, a cameo is fine.
Unless the plans get passed to C-3PO.
What if we see like the silhouette or something of Leia doing the that is her theme, yes.
Yeah.
What if we see like sort of
the plans
the silhouette putting the plans into R2-D2?
Yeah,
like,
I know
like that.
That's why I did the theme. Yeah.
That I'd be fine with that. Like a little glimpse, someone walking past in the corridor, and that's happening in the background or something like that.
The final line of the movie is, "We'll be destroyed for sure."
Oh, yeah. That'd be pretty good, actually.
Yeah.
Or like the last thing you see is the Star Destroyer coming in and docking with the Tantive 4.
The last shot of the movie is the first shot of A New Hope.
Yeah.
It is just the same footage.
That'd be cool.
Ripped. That would
be cool with that. And you'd be like, why are those yellow words flying around in space? That's so weird. Oh well. Do you think there'll be a crawl in this movie?
Yes, I don't think you can do a Star Wars movie without a crawl.
I've heard this question thrown around, and I think there will be, if for no other reason than like every Star Wars video game has a crawl. So why would
the books have
crawls?
Yeah. I think you have to do it. It's part of Star Wars.
Yeah, I agree.
And I think it will say Rogue One, a Star Wars story.
Yes, I agree. Ooh. Well, if the Star Wars logo goes up
Star
first.
Wars, Rogue One, a Star Wars story.
Maybe.
Instead of episode
Yeah,
whatever.
maybe.
I don't know.
Ooh.
That's not my job. I don't have to figure that out.
Yeah. What if it says like Anthology 1 or something?
Oh, maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe. That would be good too. My hope, I want to see the AT-ATs on the beach run.
Ooh.
I want to see what
like
they would
puppies.
look like if they like gallop or something
they would look
like
like
that.
Puppies.
And how that would work inside the head, because I'm pretty sure they would all die.
I'm pretty sure they'd be
But how
scrambled
cool,
up.
like how crazy,
Cool.
how like seeing those things, you're like, I wouldn't even. What would you do? Like as a human being,
like if you're being chased by one, what would you do?
Yeah, like because they're kind of slow, but they can shoot pretty far. But if it starts to run after you, and you're like, that looks silly, but I'm going to die.
Again, I want more Terminator movies.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Oh well, too bad for you. You get Star Wars instead.
Okay,
And
I'll
Avatar.
take it.
Yeah,
That's
hooray. So where can the people find us?
They can find us on the internet, and that is on beerwithgeeks.com, on Twitter at beerwithgeeks, on Facebook, facebook.com/beerwithgeeks. They can find us on all the podcast apps. That includes, iTunes, Google Play Music, Satchel, Overcast, anywhere you can find good podcasts. That's where we are.
Did you say Google?
I did say Google Play Music.
I wasn't listening.
That's okay. You were doing Laura's work over there. Leave us reviews, leave us ratings, leave us all that good stuff. Let people know how you feel about us. And if not, just tweet about us or post about us on Facebook. Tell people that you like us. But if you can leave us a review, even like just a star rating or recommend an Overcast, that would be awesome.
I have one here. I have a thing to listen to, say, and to read.
That's the word. Listen to you say it.
Okay. Fun to listen to. 5 stars from Zach Logan 15. These guys are a fun group. They're funny, insightful, just natural at podcasting. Podding, pods, whatever you call it, they have it. Well,
thank you, Zach.
Thank you. We have it. Whatever it is, we have the pods.
And we hope that you have it too. Now,
they hope in their pocket, in their ears, listening
in your
to our dulcet tones.
ear canals, in your head holes. So, anyway, may the force be with you. Cheers.